Hello, welcome back to another video after a while again. But today I want to talk to you all about inaccessibility that I faced during my first year of college. So a few weeks ago I asked you on Instagram whether I should talk about this, and a lot of you said yes. And by the way, if you are not following me on there, I suggest you do that. life_in_blind_world. I know that's quite long, but I'll put a link in the description box below. So let's get into this. So it all started back in September when resources weren't being braille for maths, because as some of you know I had to resit maths in my first year. I'll talk more about that later on. So yeah, resources weren't brailled, didn't have a brailler, and if you don't know what braille or a brailler is, then I definitely suggest you watch my second video. That will be quite helpful for that. So yeah, that all meant that I couldn't participate in lessons properly, and in my health and social care lessons I had to have stuff read to me or read everything off of my phone, which is a little bit difficult because I'm so used to having everything brailled and in front of me. And then, so I had to take my own brailler in from home because they didn't have one in college for me, which annoyed me so much because it meant I had to take it forwards and backwards every Wednesdays and Thursdays. And for those of you who have actually seen one in real life, you all know how heavy those things are. And yeah, so after about a few weeks they managed to get one for me for college, and I was happy about that because that meant that I didn't have to keep bringing my own in. But then when I got it, I realised it was electric, and I was not happy about that at all because I've had bad experience with those in my life. Well, with the time that I used it back in year 2, it got set on fire, and do not even ask how because I have absolutely no idea. I was 7 at the time. That was 10 years ago. Yes. So after that I just said to keep bringing my own in. Now let's fast forward a bit to when I had to do my first exam in college. That was a bit difficult because since none of my teachers can read braille, they were saying that I shouldn't use my brailler in the exam, and that got me really annoyed because I need to use that. That will help me when I'm doing my answers. But after a lot of convincing, they let me use it, and here's where it gets a bit worse. There were no diagrams for me, so I couldn't answer half of the questions in the exam, and my support teacher didn't have a print copy of the exam, so if I didn't understand any questions she couldn't read any out to me. And when we were translating it all into normal writing from braille, I had to sit there and read every single word out to my teacher. Yes. So in the actual exam time, we'd run out of time, so we had to do it a few months later. And I was like, if there's something wrong with it, they can just work it out themselves because I've done enough, honestly. Now, lockdown. This was a bit difficult as well because my maths teacher, she'd made the lessons in quite an inaccessible way. So we'd have 40-45 minute long videos where she'd be explaining stuff, and you have to pause the videos to read the questions. So that meant someone had to sit with me and read the questions for me when people around me could have had other stuff to do. So that was really annoying as well. But I had one other maths teacher at the same time who made it kind of easier, and whenever I needed help I'd just go to her all the time. So then, yeah, I still had no diagrams at that point, and most exams are just really inaccessible. And then let's fast forward to April. So this story happened around the time I was having exams, my maths teacher had asked me to leave the classroom because she thought my braille was too loud and that it would disturb the class. And the worst thing about this whole situation was that she took my support teacher outside the classroom to tell her this. So I couldn't say anything because she knows that I will speak up for myself, like what happened with the braille incident when they wouldn't let me use that in the exam. I said that I needed it. So after that happened, I reported that whole situation to the head of maths, and then it all got sorted from there, sort of. But guess what she says to me a week later? She goes and says, I sent you out because I'm teaching you in a different way. Like, seriously, it's trying to cover your own back there. I mean, you could have taught me in a different way in the classroom and not made it difficult for me. Where I would have had to wait like every 15 minutes for you to come so I can ask you questions. I didn't say all that to her because I didn't really get much of a chance to, but that's what I was thinking the whole time. And the reason I was like even more mad at that was because like that never happened in high school before. And if it did happen in high school, it was because either it was mine or my support teacher's choice because my class was too loud. Yes. But towards the end of the year, when I had the main exams, I had diagrams and everything, but as I was going along, I had to tell my other teacher my answers. I had to tell her my answers so she could write them down, which made it a bit easier, but then that also kind of meant I'd be losing time because I got 50% extra time in exams. But even in high school, I always felt that that wasn't enough, in maths especially, because I couldn't do all diagram questions. And for those of you who are visually impaired like me, or know people that are visually impaired, you'll know that maths is very difficult for us. Yeah. And I still can barely even read a graph properly. Now, that was college done. So let's fast forward to results day, which was not very long ago actually. So I thought after everything that I'd been through this past year that I'd get a good result. Because I came from high school with a 2 because we couldn't do the exams properly. And they gave me a 3 at the end of the year. A 3. After everything that I went through, that's all I get. I was not having that, honestly. So we literally contacted the head of maths and she told us the results for all the exams, but then I realised that those results are not fair because of diagrams, like I explained before. But they still said we don't have enough evidence to like give you a higher grade. And I was like, well, okay, but I know that I've worked harder and I know that I deserve a better grade than that. And they said that I can resit again in November or just not do it. And I don't know if I'm being a bit of an idiot here, but I decided that I'm not doing this because this is really difficult for a lot of visually impaired people. I know that I'm not the only one that struggles with maths because a lot of my friends go through the same thing as well. So I decided that I'm not doing this because I do not want to put all that pressure on myself again. And I won't even be able to answer some questions because of like graphs and stuff, and that'll still give me a 0, and I know that that will probably get me to a 4. So that was my college experience for this year. I hope my second year goes nothing like that. And that is it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed. Please make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below for future videos, or message me them on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!